I don't know. And good. I didn't know if we was trying out something new tonight. I don't know.
Play it for a while, play it for a while, play it for a while.
Turn the mic up.
Turn the mic up, turn the mic up.
Oh,
There we go. Welcome.
welcome in.
We are grateful to. What are we doing?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I thought you were like.
I am like, I do want to apologize. I don't know what's happening with our shadows and our Blair Witch Project.
I don't know. We get welcome, join. Thank you for joining us. Come in, grab a seat, grab something to drink, get comfortable, kick up your feet. Join us for. Thank you for joining us on another voyage for At the Helm with Kelli and Wayne.
I am Kelli.
And I'm Wayne in the shadows. Good to be here.
Welcome you. Thank you all. Thank you for
Joining
coming on in.
We are looking forward to this evening. We have a guest joining us this evening, so be prepared. They will be on shortly. But how's everyone's week been going? How's everybody's March been going? We are in March. February is gone. This is the 28 plus. This is the 33rd day of Black History Month. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As we keep celebrating. We had our Black History Month celebration and soul food dinner on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Yeah, we had that was a great program. We had people who own a realty company, a development company in Durham, who were our guest speakers who came and talked to us about developing in the midst of urban development. Right. Mm-hmm. We know what that means. Where they're just coming through. And here we go again this week.
I thought I had that right.
Again, they just came in. Urban development is when they decide this Black community that is thriving, you should just drive a wedge right through it. Let's just put a highway, sometimes to nowhere. But in Durham, it just happened to be 147. But anyway, they came and talked to us about in the midst of all of that, how they were able to bring back the community, the vibrant community. And then we got to the soul food. You can think about it as a soul food thing. We had it.
It was very good. Shout out to the kitchen committee, culinary committee, SFB, the flock. It's amazing. And to all of those who came, and to Mr. Neese and Mr.
Terry.
Thankful. Great information. And we are going to have to do a part 2 because there's so much information we had to share.
Yeah. And so many other stories.
Yeah.
While we were doing that, there were so many people who said they knew the answers to the question. They could help them finish their sentences. They knew all about the places and businesses and community and the people. And they said, I could have been up there telling my stories. Like, yeah, you could have, and you should be. So it is incumbent upon us who are still here with our elders to sit down, speak to those elders, and maybe write down their stories. I have that on my to-do list that I need to get with my elders, my aunties, my uncles, and just ask them questions about, what they remember, because once they're gone, that's an encyclopedia. That is, we lost. Like, it's gone. We won't get that information back. So talk to your elders.
Yes.
And in that vein, I do want to express my condolences to my Evans family on the loss of our family member today. Condolences.
Yes. They transitions now, ancestor. But again, share those stories, tell those stories, and that's what we really try to do during not only then, but and I think we're going to start doing that on maybe a quarterly basis too, not just wait till February to do that. To be able to invite, I mean, we need to tell the history of the city, tell the history of church, tell the history of the community, so people are aware. Because a lot of people know and a lot of people don't know, but we need to make sure that we share that because every day someone's trying to erase history and change it and tell their own story and their own narrative. We need to make sure we continue to tell that story so they hear our story and your story like you want it to be heard. So continue to share those stories. Continue to share.
Yeah. The big story of the week. Once again, elections have consequences.
Yep.
We had elections this week, but also the person y'all voted in for president started a war.
Whew, have mercy.
And it's just like they are, at least with me, are winning the war of the mind where it's just so much that they bog you down with like every day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day is something. And so you just kind of tune out. So we're over here in America acting like this is normal, still getting up in the morning, brushing our teeth, driving, going to work. Like we just still doing regular things. Meanwhile, gas done went up about 50 cents in just a few days, and that's first world problems.
Yeah, that's
first world problems.
Yeah.
So
and just not this past Tuesday, but Tuesday before last, or one day, it was told the gas was under $2, which was a lie then.
I think these are $1.37 at our State of the Union, whatever. We don't
State of the lies of the Union. But yes, now it's over $3. So who do we need to blame, Obama or Biden? I know it's one of their faults. That's what it's going to be. So, but as we continue, and definitely prayers go out to those families, Americans, and I mean all of those who have lost lives over in Iran and all of those other Eastern countries, Western countries who have been under the attack of this regime. While we're talking about regime changes, under this one, while they are, and it's just crazy that, ironic that, hypocritical that they just had the Peace Council just met like a week ago, and now the Peace Council,
his Peace Council,
yeah,
it's not even a real thing, yeah.
But I mean, now the Peace Council's at war,
and he had already stopped 8 wars. I think he said
he stopped.
Yeah, he had ended 8 wars.
He probably started 8 too.
Yeah.
He probably started 8 too, but yeah. So to those who live in this country who cannot get back home because this administration has fired and laid off and got rid of so many people, there are no ambassadors across the world to work with other nations to maneuver and move people around. So there is there was actually a number that people could call to try to get help, and there was a message on there that said, "Don't call us for help." Mm-hmm. And so that probably needs to be the national message at the White House. That needs to be on their answer machine, on their Facebook page, on their web page, plastered across the building. Don't call us for help, because they are not any help whatsoever.
That's been the general thing. Nobody's coming. They're not coming to help us.
And we've yet to get any good reason, which there's never a good reason, but any logical reason of why this war even started. And I think every day since it started, we've had a different reason from the same person. And so, yeah. But we, this really leads to and lends to, before we had microphones everywhere, cameras everywhere, recording pieces everywhere, the lies that were told down through history, that no one had proof. But now they will ask Miss Doggone Kristen Nome, do you still think Alex Pretty and Renee Good are domestic terrorists? I didn't say that. Roll the tape. These people were domestic. So it's just amazing how they can continue to just tell straight up lies of what they want to do. And I'm waiting for the day that they come on, and whatever day it is, they just tell everybody it's Monday. And it may be Thursday, but they'll just continue to say whatever they want to say and share what they want to share. But I hope everyone had a, what was your voting experience? Was it, if for those who early voted or those who may have voted on election day, how were the polls? Did you have any issues? Did you have any troubles? Just let us know. Put it in chat how that went on voting day and how things turned out.
And we have been encouraging people to check your voter registration, check it every month, make sure you're still on the rolls. And I know several people who showed up to vote and were not able to vote because they were inactive. We also said go early vote, and you can register and vote the same day. People showed up on voting day and were not able to cast a ballot.
Yeah.
So let's get ready for November. Right now, we're going to start getting ready for November. So we had a few interesting races here in our area in Wake County. One that I am just particularly perturbed about, and that is the district attorney's race here in Wake County. And we talked about how important the district attorney's race is. They're the people who decide what cases get prosecuted, how we handle bail, cash bail. This is an important position. And we had two very qualified women in that race. And then Wiley Nickel threw his hat in the race. Wiley Nickel, who quit his seat in Congress because it was going to be gerrymandered, and hey,
maybe hard to win.
Why stay and fight, right? Wiley Nickel, who then decided he was going to run for Senate, but then Roy Cooper said he was going to run for Senate. So let's not fight, right? Let's not make it hard. Let's not do a hard fight. So then Wiley Nickel, who has not practiced law in North Carolina in over 10 years, decided that he should be the district attorney of Wake County. And because sometimes we are just I don't know the word, just a feckless sometimes society. We know name assign, we know name recognition. He did have a commercial that, had President Barack Obama in there. So that was like the rah-rah. So now we have Wiley Nickel for our district attorney here in Wake County. That is the one race that just irks me. It really does. Because we have all of these people, and I'm in all these groups, these liberal lady groups, and they're talking about, why he's a great guy, and he probably is a great guy. But do we need him as a district attorney?
Yeah,
we don't. And so these are the same ladies who have these T-shirts. We're raging against the patriarchy, and we're so against misogyny, and we're tired of mediocre white men. And what do? Run right up here, vote for Wiley Nickel. So anyway, I digress. But that is who we now have for our district attorney. And so what we always say is that voting is just the first step. We elect people and then we hold people accountable. So even if we didn't vote for them, they still represent us. And it is our job to make sure that Wiley Nickel does his job and is a voice and lends an ear to the community and is a voice for the community. So,
and an advocate for the community.
We will see how that goes.
Yep.
That's the only race that just kind of got under my skin. But tonight.
That's right. Good to see you, Jay. And yes, people do.
Yeah. And nobody asked me because I would have told y'all. I put it on my Facebook page. That's not who we want, but Facebook is not enough. I should have been out there knocking doors. That's what I'm not going to do. My candidate was Sharita Walton. She was very well qualified. I mean, of course, Black woman, so we already know she was more than qualified.
Mhm.
But whatever. So that's the race. Everybody's also talking about the race between Jasmine Crockett and Tallarico. Again, same thing. I'm tired. The 92% are tired. We recognize that people love our labor, but they just do not want our leadership, right? They want us to continue to do the work. We see that as far back as
Time and time again.
Stacey Abrams. We go back to Stacey Abrams doing the work. Kamala Harris. And we give y'all all the whole spectrum of us, right? We give you every shade, every shape, every color of Black woman, and you all consistently say thank you for bending over your back and letting us step on it and get your labor. But as far as authority goes and leadership goes, not yet. Not yet. So win. So we, the 92% delegation, we fit. We are sick and tired. But yeah, continue to show up and tell people to show up. But yeah, the mule pulling the wagon, like we're just not.
That's it.
We're not there. Yeah. Right. They don't know what they want. You're right. They do know what they want, Jay, but they keep telling us they want something different.
Yeah.
Right. They keep telling us they want different. But then when they have the opportunity, but then we want to go with what's electable.
That's right.
All these that take a white man to be the white man people. We don't see, because white men have not been able to win in Texas since they gave us civil rights, I don't think.
It's been a long time.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in Texas. But we shall soon see.
It is, Dr. Lucas, sad and exhausting, but
exhausting.
Yep. But we cannot allow this election fatigue to hold us back.
Oh, what Jay said is not over for Jasmine. Oh, it is definitely not over for Jasmine. She is too brilliant. She is amazing. She has options. But that's not really the point. Like, she wanted it now. She was ready for it now. She's prepared for it now. So of course she can go on and she can be president. She can do that. But she deserved her place now. She deserves her place now. So anywho, I digress. We have a guest.
Yes, we do.
We have a guest who also is no stranger to this campaign. He is fresh off of his win on Tuesday night in Charlotte's District 106 for the House of Representatives. So tonight at the Helm has an exclusive, his first primetime video, his primetime interview with At the Helm. We are now going to bring to the stage Reverend Dr. Rodney Sadler, newly elected House of Representatives. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Sadler. How you doing, brother?
I am well. How are you, my sister and brother?
Doing good.
Well.
Doing good.
Good to see you both.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Always
good to sit backstage and listen to your opinions fly.
Yeah, they kind of they can get off the rails. We try to, we should play our disclaimer. The views expressed are those of the host, not necessarily the guest, not our job, not our church, not our children.
Yep.
Just us.
Yeah, we do have that when needed. Well, first, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yes.
To you for your outstanding victory.
It was a shellacking.
Overwhelming victory. Let's call it a mandate. I think that's what someone else would say if they were speaking of that. But congratulations on first of you for even just stepping out to do this. I know that's a challenge in itself. But thank you for that. Congratulations for that. And then thank you for joining, for stepping out and running in this needed seat, in this needed time.
Let me just start off by saying thank you so much, for having me tonight on the program. And I thank you to the voters of District 106 for voting for me. I think that is the biggest referendum that you have in the midst of a campaign. They use all these metrics to determine how well you're doing. Are you raising money? Are you getting endorsements or whatever? But the biggest endorsement, the one that's most significant, is the people's support. And I think the people have spoken in this instance. I'm grateful for that. Let me say, I'm grateful to Representative Cunningham for her 7 terms in the General Assembly. I'm grateful that
Wow.
she stepped up and that she did some good work. Medicaid expansion was in part some of the work that she did. And actually, that's where we first met and worked together trying to get Medicaid expanded years ago. And I pray that she retires now and does so with some sort of joy about the good that she's been able to accomplish. And yeah, I'm just thankful that I have had such a wonderful, wonderful campaign manager, Gabe Gold-Hodgkin, had wonderful staffers and people that ran the campaign, including the former mayor of Charlotte, Jennifer Roberts, including Adrian Moore Miller, who ran our field team, and Xavier Pruitt, who ran our field team. And I have to mention Aria McClinney Sadler, who's my daughter, who ran our social
All
media
right.
efforts. And she did an amazing job. I was just,
Yeah.
I mean, if she could speak in my voice and do it with great deal of sincerity and integrity, and I felt good having her at the helm there as well. So, and then just across the city, one thing I'll say, and I said this before, I made the mistake of thinking that this was a district race when I started running.
Mhm.
And after I began to see what was going on and the way that the former representative had voted with the MAGA Republicans against the governor's vetoes in instances, I realized that this is a statewide race. What happens here determines what happens across the state of North Carolina. And then later on, I realized that this was a national race when we saw the way that the Republicans basically literally stole one of the 4 Democratic seats in the U.S. Congress. They stole
right.
it. It's
That's right.
no other way to say that. And technically, they should be sitting on maybe 6 seats, and they're sitting on 11, which makes no sense whatsoever. This is a national. The consequences of who's in the seat are national, and we need to make sure that we recognize that as we think about what this means. And I've been grateful to have people that have supported me from, of course, my district, from across the city of Charlotte, from across North Carolina, and dare I say, people have joined this larger movement from across the nation. We've had people making phone calls from as far across as California, New York, Ohio, down to the South. I mean, it's been a gift to see how people have come out because they want to see change. They want to see not just something different, but a different mode of governing. So I'm just grateful for not just this campaign, but the movement that's associated with it.
That speaks volumes about how people feel about you and how people felt about what was happening in their area. And like I said, how it would affect not just Charlotte, but it's going to affect this state, who is the only state out of the 50 states that still doesn't have a budget. So it's like it affects everything. But so just tell us a little about your journey. We have you up here as Reverend Dr. Rodney Sattler, right?
Yeah.
So we know that there's a faith component. We know that there's a social justice component because that is where I met you at out in these streets. And tell us how that led you to running for this elected. Oh, Wayne is gonna put you.
Is that the picture where we got arrested together?
They have, y'all's matching mug shots. Put it back up, Wayne. Put yours up. The matching mug shots that day.
Let me just say yes. I am a minister and a servant of God first and foremost, and it's because I'm a servant of God that God made me consider myself a servant of humanity. And I want to make sure that we do those things that God has called us to do. If you look throughout the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, even in the New Testament, it constantly says that we are to look out for the needs of the widows. We call them single mothers. The orphans, we call them fatherless children. The immigrants, it never asks about their documentation or their status, and it never calls them illegals. The poor, and it doesn't blame them for their poverty, but lifts them from their poverty. God over and over again says that we need to be sensitive to these concerns. And so my life and my ministry has been focused around trying to do what the Lord has said to do. Being a minister is not just about saying pretty words in beautiful sanctuaries once a week. It's about serving God's people and making sure that those who have been least lost and otherwise left out are included, brought to the table, and able to not only make their voice heard, but to govern with themselves, for themselves in significant ways. So I feel as though this is a natural, I wasn't an expected trajectory, but it's a natural trajectory when I look back. You see, when I look back over my life and think things over, I could truly say I've been blessed. I got a testimony. Well, the testimony, I think, is evident as I look back and see how I got here. And those of you may not know it, the first time I ever went to the General Assembly building in North Carolina was with William Barber and a bunch of other people. I went in on the second week of the Moral Monday movement back in May 6, 2013 to the General Assembly. And we went in to say that the harsh politics coming from the Republican extremists in the General Assembly were unacceptable, and that we need to do something different. We could not have them taking money from public schools and putting it into private school voucher schemes. We could not have them delaying or denying the opportunity for us to participate in the Affordable Care Act by denying Medicaid expansion. We went up to say that we need to make sure that everybody's voting rights are protected across the state of North Carolina. We need to make sure that we're protecting the environment, make sure that LGBTQIA people are included in all that we do. And we went there and we didn't get to go on the floor of the General Assembly. So we sang songs and prayed prayers and were arrested. And so this has a different sense of meaning for me. Being an elected member of this body now, where I once was, twice was arrested, gives me a different sense of the gravitas of what I'm called to do. And all the work that we've been doing. So you all may not know this, but Wayne and I have been tri-chairs of the Poor People's Campaign for a number of years. I've been very much less present now since I've been running for office. And I know that I now have to step down because I can't serve in this capacity. But the work that we've been doing on the outside, I now want to take on the inside. And
Yes.
I pray that you all continue to work with me so that you can bring all that movement in. When I say we got to fight for affordable housing, we can get that movement on the outside. When I say we got to fight for health care for all people as a basic human right, that we can bring people from the outside. I hope that this movement continues on the inside, just like it did on the outside.
Yes. It's going to continue. It's going to continue. No doubt with all of that. And
thank you.
Yes. We hope to see you down at the General Assembly as much as we used to see you down at the General Assembly. And still doing that work. So it's always good to know that, everyone that goes there at the General Assembly, there's a lot of good people fighting, and it's good to know that there's another that's going to go there now and have the love and the justice for the people, and to fight for those things that that you spoke of that people need in that. So throughout this campaign, you were as you were moving around, phone banking, knocking doors, your campaign, all of your people, what did you hear most from the residents while you were making your rounds and talking to the voters? What were their concerns and what were their issues?
I think the thing I heard most during this campaign was, we can't afford to live. They were saying, in essence, it costs too much money to live in a city like Charlotte. We've got a city where we're the largest economic engine in the state of North Carolina, but our minimum wage is stuck at $7.25, and we can't do anything on the the municipal level to pass ordinances that demand higher wages. I mean, the city's done a good job of trying to get a living wage for their employees, but they can't do anything else because the General Assembly is blocking it. This Dillon Rules thing makes them think that they're the gods and that they have the ability to determine what's best for places they've never been. They don't know. And it would be wonderful if we could have the freedom to say, this is what it costs to live in the city. This is what kinds of policies we have to put in place. We've got to be able to move to that. But people have been saying over and over again, we want to have a livable wage. We want to have affordable housing. And that means that, again, we can't be controlled by the General Assembly telling us, oh, you can't have things like inclusive zoning. You can't do things like demand that builders build affordable housing when they do this. This pro-business corporate vision of governance has got to end. We've got to put people before profits. We've got to put people before the decisions of corporations. We've got to put people before politics and make sure that the people's rights are protected. And I think that's what I hear from the people, that they're concerned about the way they constantly are being put on the back burner while corporations and billionaires and Trump are put on the front burner of what's going on in government. So I think people are tired of it. I think they're tired of what we've seen and they're ready for legitimate change.
And I think it's getting across to people now that we can't just want livable wages. We have to vote people in who are gonna fight for that. We can't just want healthcare. We have to vote. There's a connection, but people oftentimes don't feel connected. But we're seeing right now in real time that every vote counts. Phil Berger is fighting for his life right now.
It's a shame to say. I hope he loses that fight.
Yeah, me too. But right now they're separated by 2 votes.
Yes,
2 votes. They're separated by, and here where we live, we had someone on the town council who won by 6 votes in a race where thousands of votes were cast. They were on the council because 6 votes separated them between him and the person that was running. So we can say that every vote counts, but many people just feel disconnected. So how do you plan to make people feel like their voice can really be heard in Raleigh in the General Assembly?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to stop doing the things I've already done, which is try to motivate the people to get involved in their governance, to recognize that they've got a role to play, and that voting is the first step. It's not the end.
Yeah,
that's
voting
right.
is where our obligation starts, and it continues. I have worked for a number of years with folks who have written bills. People like Joel Siegel used to work for Representative John Conyers. One of the things that they always talk about is that legislators don't really write bills. Legislators basically oversee a process that people come up and they say, this is the idea. We'd love for you to do these things. And then they get a bunch of experts together who talk about how can we best do this. And then they sit down and begin to write it up as a bill that can be put forward and goes into committees. But there's spots all along that way for people to be involved in the development of legislation. And that means that we've got to put forward the ideas we want to see. That means we've got to help to sit down and draft what the bill could look like. That means we've got to come back and lobby for those bills and make sure that we're telling our legislators, this is what we want to see. It means that we've got to sometimes protest if it seems like they're going the wrong direction or they're leaving good ideas unexplored. It means that we've got to be constantly involved. We are a democracy, and it's all of our responsibility to make sure that our governance looks like what we want. We have the ability to manufacture a government that looks like our greatest dreams. So we should never settle for the worst that the other side wants to do to us.
Yeah, and I love that you say we all have a responsibility. We're probably not all going to go in the streets. We're probably not all going to protest, but all of us can do something.
Amen.
And it is incumbent upon all of us to do something.
Yeah.
You may not want to take to the streets, but you can write an email.
Amen.
But you can call your legislator. You can get on these trains, these phone trains that we were having people call so that their phones are ringing off the hook. That's a simple thing that takes you 60 seconds.
Amen.
And so, yeah, it's we can't just sit back and watch things happen, let things happen. Like we got to get in the fight.
Yes.
And I love that you say voting, that's just one tool in the toolbox. Once we do that, then it's time to go to work. Whether your candidate win or lose it.
Amen. One tool in the toolbox.
That's just one tool.
There's many tools, and that's one that works on some things, but doesn't work on other things. So you get to find the appropriate tool for the appropriate purpose.
Yeah. And we can do, like I said, it's incumbent upon all of us. All of us can do something.
Yes, indeed.
No doubt, no doubt. So you mentioned earlier the tenure that your Representative Cunningham had down through the years, and held that seat for over a decade. So through this election, what do you think the voters were saying through this election, and what do you believe your new leadership will bring to the district right now?
Hopefully, it brings a moral awareness as to what's at stake in governance. Hopefully, I bring a different sense of, and it's not just me, we are working together on this. This is an us kind of thing. I hope that we bring a vision of collective shared governance, that all the people that voted with me, for me, all the organizations that worked to get us here, that they have a stake in what goes on. So I hope that broader vision of governance and co-governance is something that I'm bringing to the table at this point in time as we go in. I hope also that we bring in a different sense of possibility, so that we're not limited to this is what's happened before, and so this is the way we're going to focus. That this forward-thinking, larger vision of what we can be. That's what I hope I can use to define the way that we go forward. And quite clearly, I hope that we've got a leader a representative that will not kowtow to the MAGA Republicans, will not settle for policies that are based on fear and hatred and enmity. And I mean, I don't want to ever throw the people under the bus. I don't ever want to vote for things that bring ice into people's communities and snatch families away. I don't ever want to vote for policies that take money from our struggling public school system and give it to wealthy kids to go to private schools. I don't ever want to vote for bills that make people who are already struggling with high energy costs have to deal with even higher energy costs.
Yes.
I want to make sure that the people's voice is being heard. I want to make sure that the people's interests are centered, and I want to make sure that we're doing justice, uplifting those who've been downcast for far too long.
That's awesome. When you were talking, I had a question that you may be able to help me answer.
Let's hear it.
So if so the Philberger race, right? He is now the Senate Majority Leader,
Yes.
right? So if he loses, the Senate then votes in another person. Is it based on seniority? Like, how did they choose? And did we pick up enough seats that they would not be the leader anyway?
No, we have not picked up enough seats, and it'll be a while before perhaps we're able to take the Senate back. Though I don't know if it'll be that long. I think we might be able to do some things right now, and I hope that between now and November we're able to push some policies forward. So one thing I'd say is that Philberger, if he loses, it'll be a great day for all of us. Not because the person he's running against is a wonderful guy that will do great things, but because it means that we need a new leader, that a new leader will rise. And hopefully we'll get a new leader that's not as entrenched in the MAGA Republican ideology that we see. Hopefully it'll be a leader that will
see that they would see the writing on the wall, right? And not
move away from that sort of ideology. Hopefully that would be one way to do it. Though, I mean, he's being challenged from the right, so they might want to say, we got to go further to the right. But I hope that they see in places like Mecklenburg County, where two incumbent Democrats who worked with the Republicans have been removed. And not just removed. I think my election, it was 70%, and then Valeria's election, it was 69% of people supported us. I hope that the reason will begin to creep through this seemingly impermeable facade that maintains this horrible ideology that seems to govern them. But we got to work on it. I also hope that again we're able to shift a few of these red districts blue. When
Mhm.
people see that the ideology that they put forward has failed and failed miserably, then maybe a few of these down east communities where they're constantly voting against their interests, putting in these ultra conservatives who do not have their best interests at heart, these
Mhm.
ultra conservatives who are fighting against Medicaid expansion now,
Mhm.
threatening to get rid of it, which means that their hospitals will close and their health care will
Yeah.
suffer. They'll realize what's at stake and realize that their votes have consequences and realize that they need to see a change too. So I'm very much eager to see some change take place. Hopefully Berger will be gone, but then hopefully a lot of other ultra conservatives will be gone as well.
And we know, Reverend Barber tells us there are no red districts and blue districts. There are unorganized districts. And so we got to get out there. We got to get out there and got to get people organized, activate them. Got to do more.
Yeah.
So to get them, registered and then get them motivated to get to the polls.
Yeah. So I did want to kind of follow up on what you said. You mentioned that there were some Democratic people, officials that voted maybe not the best way they could have voted, or voted for some things
Yeah.
that people didn't put them in office to vote that way. And what do you think that 70%, that 69%, two races that you and the other candidate won, what does that say to them, those others that may still be there, but maybe they've been leaning or they've been voting for popularity or for whatever other reasons and not with the people? Do you think even that can make a statement to make them get back and let's do some good work?
Well, excuse me for a second. My TV just came on by magic, and now
You
I'm
got to tell
listening. Hold on
Alexa,
just a
Alexa,
second. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
you're good. You're good.
Alexa, TV off.
Yeah, for those who are just joining us, we are um, joined this evening by Reverend Dr. Rodney Sadler Jr., who just recently won the seat, Senate,
House,
House seat, District 106
which is in Charlotte,
in
Mecklenburg County.
Charlotte, Mecklenburg County. Dr. Sadler has worked with us. We actually met him working within the Poor People's Campaign. He has been part of more Monday movement since it began. And we have been working with Dr. Sadler probably the last 5-6 years. I don't know. It's been a while. We have been with him, and it's been a pleasure to be with him and to learn and just to be in his presence. So he has joined us this evening to help us celebrate this victory and just to have a conversation. But what I was asking you, Dr. Sadler, do you think even those victories at that level maybe even open the eyes of some other people who realize, okay, if I begin to slip, there may be some other people. No seat is safe when the people begin to speak.
Amen. I hope it does. I hope it wakes up those who have been willing to cut deals to step across the line. So I like to explain it in this way. North Carolina has a very, very interesting balance in our General Assembly. So in the House of Representatives, we have just enough Democrats to keep the Republicans from having a supermajority.
Mm-hmm.
A supermajority means that if the governor vetoes something, that the supermajority can overturn the governor's veto, and whatever they determine can become law. By having that balance there, it means that the governor, if he vetoes something because he recognizes it will hurt the people of North Carolina, it is so bad that we need to stop it, he can trust that his colleagues will vote with him and sustain the veto. We can't lose a single Democrat on these issues. And this is what I think has been going on. We've seen a single Democrat picked off time and again in order to give them the supermajority back. And we've seen some horrible legislation passed, legislation that has hurt the immigrant community. HB 318 is in part what got Carla Cunningham in trouble. I mean, she put her foot in her mouth during that whole process as well, saying that all cultures aren't equal and that immigrants need to assimilate, and that our African American ancestors would agree with that. I was like, no, they would certainly not. And then a brother of mine, dear friend, Nassif Majid, basically voted against the governor's veto on a bill that that would protect trans children, trans people, and people stood against that. There's a backlash against it, and a need to say, look, we fought hard to overcome the supermajority, and we need to maintain that line. So even if you might have a slightly different personal opinion, we have to vote as a bloc in order to save the people of North Carolina. Some people have said, you all are just trying to do the bidding of the government. No, I've fought this General Assembly since 2013. I know what they're trying to do to us, and it's not good. And when they have unfettered free will, they will hurt us. They will steal our voting rights, as they've done. They will steal our access to medical care, as they've done. We had to wait more than 10 years to get Medicaid expanded for no reason other than they wanted to punish Barack Obama.
That's right.
We've watched the way that they're stripping money away from our public school education system, a system we should be investing much money into. They're taking more money away from to put in private schools, and then saying anybody, no matter how many millions of dollars you make a year, can get money from the state government to pay for your kids to go to private schools. I mean, it's things like this that have hurt the people of North Carolina time and again. So I hope that the rest of the Democrats will not focus on this just because they're Democrats, but because standing against and I'm going to use this term, it's a hard term, but it's a legitimate term, standing against the evil that this Republican extremist group wants to do to us is a moral necessity. And it is a moral obligation to make sure we don't allow that veto, when used, to fall away. So
I think evil is appropriate. Starving a child is evil. Not giving people health care is evil. Paying people $7.25 an hour. They work at McDonald's. They can't afford the combo. They can't afford the number one if they work for 1 hour.
Amen.
That's evil.
That's evil. So. Amen.
So the name of our podcast is At the Helm, right? We have this nautical reference, and so when we talk about when we go on a cruise, how they treat you so nice when you're getting on, and they want to make sure you have everything you need. And what you got? Oh, is that a Carnival hat? I can't.
It's a Bermuda hat. My Bermuda hat.
Okay.
They get nautical on me. Let me go back.
There you go. I love it.
But when it's time to get off, when it's time to leave, they don't care nothing about you. Get your suitcase. Get out of here the best way you can. Like, just get off. We got other people to come on. So we call it our disembarkation, where we leave our audience with just a word of advice, little nuggets. And so we just want to ask you, if you could leave us with one challenge or one word of encouragement for the work ahead, what would that be?
Well, thank you for that. And I'd love to leave with this by saying we are at a crucial point in time in the history of our democracy. Right now, we're in the 250th anniversary of this experiment, and it's only been an experiment. It has never been a guarantee. And if we want to maintain democracy, then we're going to have to step up. We're going to have to stand out and make sure that we protect what we want. So right now, we all have an obligation to not just vote, not just propose legislation, not just lobby, but to be fully involved and fully engaged in protecting our system and bringing forth the kind of governance that we want. And the piece of hope I want to get from this is that this is in our power. We have the agency to do this. We can make the kind of nation where every kid has a equal quality education and a safe school and have food provided for them if necessary. We can make a nation where everybody has housing that they can afford, and healthcare that they can afford as a basic human right, and make sure that their jobs pay them a livable wage. We can have a society where we're protecting the environment and making sure that our kids in the future have a safe world in which to live. We can have an environment where voting rights are actually equal, and demographers, not demagogues,
Mhm.
demographers, not politicians, draw the lines for our districts where we vote. And so we're not gerrymandered out of the way. We have the power to do that. And if we take the power as the people, then we surely will have the kind of government that we want to see.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, Dr. Sadler, you are the poster child for what we talk about all the time when we say everybody can do something. Ordinary people stepping out doing extraordinary thing. You are not a career politician. You are a regular person who felt the tug on your heart to get out and do what is good for the least of these, right?
That's right.
What others see as the least of these. And so I just want people to understand that impact, that it takes all of us. Again, it takes all of us. And you don't have to know how to write legislation, right? You just have to care about people.
Mhm.
And then you just get out and do it. So thank you so much for stepping up to get involved in this race where you saw the need, and congratulations again on that decisive win.
Thank
you.
We're super proud of you. And we look
Thank
forward
the
to
people of
seeing you.
Mecklenburg County and the people who worked on this campaign. Thank you so much to every one of them.
Yes, thank you. I do have. So when are you able to begin your role? Will that be November?
So technically, I have to go through the election in November. The way it appears, I'm unopposed. There's no Republican challenger, and there's no
Okay.
one else that stepped up as an alternative candidate. So hopefully, uh, it's perfunctory, the November election, and January of 2027, I should be able to be installed in the position and serve in that capacity as representative of District 106. So I've got a long time to wait, but I'm not waiting. I'm trying to learn all I can. I'm trying to coordinate and organize all I can, talk to people that know about healthcare, environmental justice, climate, education, labor. I want to go in knowing the things that we'd like to accomplish, and like to have a few bills in my hand that we can fall back on as we begin to think about what type of changes we'd like to see. So my mode now is preparation to govern.
So does that mean that Representative Cunningham is still the representative until January? So she's still, when they're back in session, she is still going to be casting votes? Are
She'll
we
still be
we
casting votes.
we
She'll
concerned
still
about
be
that
doing
at
things.
all?
I'm most certainly concerned about it because she's a very angry lady right now. I'm most certainly concerned about this. Unfortunately, they're not lame ducks, and they can still cause a lot of havoc. But
Mm.
uh, hopefully, we'll be able to bring about change and bring about change soon. So we got to keep waiting. We got to wait a little bit longer. But I think change has already begun to manifest itself, and we will continue to work now. And the one thing I'll say right now is everybody that's out there, not just everybody that voted with and for our campaign, but everybody that has a vision for moral governance, get out there, make your voice heard, demand the
Yes.
kind of change you want to see, step up to the plate, and remember that we can make the difference we want to see.
That's right. That's right. Well, we look forward to an installation, a swearing in, all of those things,
And
and
y'all
know
better
that
be there for it.
we will be there, and know we're not all the way on the other end of the state, but know in the middle of the state that we are here for you, to support you, to help you. And if there's anything we can do in this area, know that we are here. Reach out, and we will do all that we can to help you along the way between now and when you get in, and then after you get in, we will be here to celebrate you and support you, and do all that to help you continue this fight, to show our appreciation for what you've done.
And let me say that, good Lord willing, from the inside, I'll remember that we got a family fighting on the outside
That's
to
right.
make change. Our Poor People's Campaign family fighting on the outside. groups like Indivisible fighting on the outside. So many good people from Sierra Club, the educators unions to the labor unions fighting on the outside. So let's hope that we can join the outside and inside fight together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Changes.
I love it. Thank you, Doc.
Dr. Salatin, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. We appreciate it. And we look forward to your leadership in the General Assembly.
Yes, sir. Have a good evening, Doc. Thank you, brother. Love you, man.
Love you too. Take care.
All right. All right. All right. Beautiful.
Right.
I needed that.
Yeah, because we sit around and we, like I said, we see on the federal level
Yeah.
where it looks like people can do what they want to do and there are no consequences.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it. There is something we can do about it. Like we can get involved. And I already know that I'm not the person that's going to be the candidate, but I can get behind the candidate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, everybody, again,
we all can do something.
And that,
we just got to recognize our strengths and our challenges.
It takes community. It takes community, and we all fit in this community somewhere. And that's one thing that's, beautiful about this movement, that, there's space for you somewhere in this movement. There's space for you somewhere in all that takes place in this political arena. And you don't have to know everything. You just have to be concerned and have some care and have those things. But yeah, I am hopeful, and because we need that leadership and that mindset and that spirit that Dr. Sadler has, and I'm foolish enough to believe that spirit can breed other good spirits, and it can bleed over. And when that spirit gets in that space, that I know is going to be represented when he walks those walls, those halls, there's going to be a spirit that, like no other, that has been there. And I'm just foolish enough to believe that spirit can take over some others and make some changes and change hearts. So grateful for that.
All right. So we are now getting ready to disembark. So grateful again for Dr. Sadler. And we talked about voting being one tool. And I am reminded. So it's National Social Work Appreciation Month. So shout out to all the social workers out there. At my job, we are planning a Spirit Week. And one of the things that we are doing on one of the days is it's our turn up day. So on that day, I will be teaching a line dance.
What that, man?
That I don't know.
You know it.
So I have been learning it. I have been working on it. And it just reminds me, like, there are people, these young people, they know it. They don't have patience with me. They do the dance and I got to figure out. So when they're turning left, I'm turning right. I got my foot, but I can't stop. Like, even if it looks like it is disjointed, I cannot stop. Like, we don't, and y'all know how it is when y'all was trying to learn that Tamiya dance. Some of you still don't know the Tamiya dance. Just like bumping into each other, but you keep moving. You keep moving with those steps. You keep getting those steps in line, trying to get it together. That is what I want us to continue to do. We may bump up against some people. We may rub up against some people. We may be going the wrong direction sometimes. But as long as we figure it out, look around at what's going on, read the room, and then get in step. We have to get in lockstep. We are not going to be able to continue to move this country in the direction that it needs to go if we're continuing to go left when people are going right. Literally. Just saying.
I see what you did there.
I'm just saying, get in the dance, right? Get on the floor.
I see what you did.
Do your little two-step. Let's figure out how to do the cha-cha up, cha-cha back.
1, 2, 3,
What's it
4,
called?
1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
What's that? Anyway.
Box dip. The box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Box.
But anywho, y'all get ready at my job. I'm gonna have it.
We
You
go.
may learn too.
Can we go?
I said my job. On my job.
Public?
It's not open to the public.
Oh, come on. Are you gonna
It's
video?
not
Are
open.
you gonna
Unless
make another
if
nice
you know the
commercial?
dance, then you can come help me. You gonna learn the dance?
I know the dance.
Okay. Okay. So Wayne and I will be teaching the dance.
What day is it? Tell me.
It's at the end of March.
I mean, You just told me the end of March.
I'ma put it on your
I'm gonna be
calendar.
there at the end of March.
I'll put it on your calendar.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm sure
Anyway.
out. I'm gonna show out too.
Get on the floor.
I'm sure out.
Get in the groove.
I'm gonna do extra.
Get with the program. Even if you don't know the steps right now, like we just said, Dr. Sadler, you don't have to know how to write legislation. Get on the floor.
Yes.
Get in the dance.
Have some fun.
Look at the steps. It's not going to be anything that your body can't do, right?
Yeah.
You can grapevine. You can grapevine left, grapevine right.
Yeah.
Okay, Riley is in here, so I guess
Jazz
it
box.
is open. Okay,
Jazz box. That's the word I was thinking of.
disembark.
Yes. Okay. I do want to say, yes, for all of those that are running for legislation, all of those that are out here doing work and doing, I don't know what to do.
Riley,
turn that
go
down.
find your daddy.
So we've been invaded. But yes, say a prayer for all of those that are running. Say a prayer for all of those who are who are on the front lines trying to make change. Support them, help them in any way you can. Think about them, help them out along the way, and let them know you appreciate their service. So until we meet again, and we didn't even get to talk about your little infomercial.
Oh, we weren't gonna talk about that. Y'all get on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's where the information is.
Yeah,
It be
that's
going
it.
down.
That's it.
I did have to get some new glasses though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's why we need to talk about your little infomercial.
I just said I had to get new glasses.
Okay. Yeah, you did because somebody left them in the floor.
I don't feel no way about that.
I don't either.
But you seem pretty defensive about it. Though.
I don't
You seem
either.
pretty defensive every time I say somebody stepped on my glasses.
You had like they were on top of the counter where they were supposed to be, and I walked them.
I mean, clearly, if you stepped on them, they were somewhere that
Yeah, to be there. All right. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Thank you for another journey at the helm, and know that you are at the helm of your journey, your life, your situations.